Hello, welcome everyone. I'm Dan the Animator. I'm a little late with this video, but I appreciate you all bearing with me. I've had to slowly come to realise that the community tab on YouTube isn't something that people generally look at, so I figured it would be best to put this little video together to talk about the channel and what's to come down the track. First up, just a little bit of background. After I uploaded my first cartoon during the pandemic, the response was so great that Vince Desi and the guys over at Running with Scissors actually tweeted a link to the cartoon, which boosted its popularity, it was truly amazing to see that even the game developers actually liked my cartoon. I decided at that point, rather than just moving on to a different video altogether, I decided at the time I would attempt to do something a little bigger. An actual animated series based on the infamous game Postal, simply just called Postal the Cartoon. I was inspired by other animators on YouTube, such as Beat Canyon, Flash Gits, Mark Shesman, and all his video game cartoon parodies that he's made over the years. All these channels are hugely inspiring to me, and you should definitely check them out if you haven't already. The quality of the work is just next level. I started this project a while ago. After I had uploaded the sneak peek video that most of you have now seen, the interest obviously got a lot bigger. So much so that I actually got contacted by Tad and Jason over from Playtest TV, and they asked me to contribute some cartoons to the documentary Going Postal, The Legacy Foretold, which is hopefully coming out very soon, and I'm very excited to see the final result of that. This was my first paid animation job since finishing my studies, and I couldn't pass up being part of this production. So unfortunately, about 7 months ago, when they did reach out, I had to completely halt the production on the series because even though it was a paid job, I still naturally have a 9 to 5 like most people and had to do the work in my spare time. Very recently, however, my part on the production has wrapped and I'm now back at work on the series I originally started now nearly 2 years ago. Besides obviously this great news that the series is back on, I wanted to take some time because I've got some other big announcements that I wanted to tell you about. But before we jump in, I wanted to just take a moment and just say a quick thank you to all my subscribers on YouTube, both new and old, who have been with me over the last while and been so patient in waiting for any updates, and for all the amazingly positive comments and feedback. Truly from the bottom of my heart, it really means the world to me that you enjoy my content, and I'm so grateful for you all. Now, without further ado, let's get into the news. So, my first major project, Postal the Cartoon, will consist of 5 complete episodes, similarly structured to the progression of the story in the game. Each episode will be based off a day of the week from Monday through Friday and will progress in the same manner. So, much like it is in the game, each day will consist of various errands that the dude has. That will not change from the game to the cartoon. However, there will obviously be more involved. The story in the cartoon will be my way of adapting a video game with no real story to speak of. As is shown in my earlier videos that you've already seen, I'm using audio from the games themselves. This will include things like ambient noise, sound effects, music, dialogue, of course, and ultimately try to use these to string together a coherent and entertaining show. The plan right now is to release each episode over the course of a week, starting with Monday on the first episode and then finishing on the Friday with the 5th and final episode. At the moment, my planned release date is January 2025. I haven't picked a specific week yet, but the plan is to ultimately have all 5 episodes ready to go and finished by the time January rolls around, so that we can have the release week without any delays or issues. Now, obviously, of course, if this is completed sooner, this may change, or ultimately it may get delayed depending on any unexpected circumstances that are yet to arise. Obviously, I hope not, and all is planned for January at this time. Now, I know January seems like a while away, and that sucks. Unfortunately, animation does take a long time to do, as you can see, and I really want to make these videos something special. Sadly, I only have so much available time to put these together. Like I mentioned before, I do have a normal 9 to 5 job, but I do truly believe that a delayed product can be good, but a rushed product will always be bad. So now, if that being said, if you can't wait till January, this next announcement that I have may be of interest to you. This is the sort of thing I don't really like to do, but unfortunately I've got to do it, otherwise it's not going to happen. So with that in mind, bear with me. With this, I've got the Dan the Animator's official Patreon. Now, this is for anyone who wants to contribute to my work, even if it's just in some small way. We only have the two options available at the moment, which is $1 a month and $5 a month. There's not a huge difference between the two options, except for how you will be recognized at the end of each of my videos. So the $1 per month option will give you the producer credit. $5 a month will get you the executive producer credit. This will of course change over time as a proper reward system is put in place and I get decent, goodies available for you all. As of right now, those are the two main differences. But however, each option will also get you early access to new episodes as they're finished. So as soon as I finish making an episode of the Postal Cartoon, for instance, that will get uploaded straight away within days of completion to Patreon first. So if you are a member, you won't have to wait until January to watch them, and you'll be able to watch them and potentially discuss them with other members as well. And I'd also love to hear your thoughts before they get released out into the wild on YouTube. Additionally, I'm also putting together a series of behind the scenes videos. Each will be based on a different aspect of what I'm doing to actually put these videos together, to kind of give an inside look as to what my production process is. The first one being on the pre-production process of Postal the Cartoon, which I will actually put on YouTube as well. This is also just to kind of give you guys an idea of what this kind of content will be like, and see if it would be worth your time and money on Patreon as well. The goal of the Patreon is to hopefully reach a stage where I can move to creating videos full-time and not obviously need the support of my 9-to-5 job as well. In addition to this, any extra funds that I make can be put towards the cartoons and making them better. Getting additional animators and artists, for example. And let's face it, YouTube may find the kind of cartoons I make a little, shall we say, dark. So I'm not banking on getting monetized for any of these videos anytime soon. But hey, professional email of mine is on the screen now and also in the description below for any sponsorship or advertisement inquiries. And I'm open to any discussion. Next up though, something I'm very excited to talk about, which is the Postal the Cartoon official merch, which is now officially available from my family's clothing site online, wetpaintclothing.com.au. It is the only place available right now where you can obtain merchandise specifically for Postal the Cartoon. Now, this will include things like we've got the Season 1 poster, stickers, we've got hoodies and t-shirts now available. That was pretty much everything I wanted to cover, except for what we also have planned in the future on the channel, or what I have planned for the future of the channel. Although not set in stone right now, and depending of course on the reception of Season 1, I may decide to continue the dude's story into Apocalypse Weekend as a kind of special double length episode, and then do Paradise Lost as a kind of Season 2. That being said, after having worked on the documentary and obviously the Postal Cartoon for such a long time, I figured after January's come and gone and the premiere's been, we'd move on to something new. And try something different for the next cartoon. So I have actually been prepping a Duke Nukem trilogy, which I've got in the works for something next year. And I have begun pre-production on that already, so I will show some images of that on screen now. There are lots of classic IPs that I want to try and adapt into fully animated shows. Obviously, I want to get your input as well. So naturally, Patreon members and of course commenters are welcome to suggest what kind of IPs they'd like to see me try and tackle in the future with cartoon shows. And in addition to cartoons on the channel, I'm also going to feature things like design and animation streams, to show how I come up with the characters or how we go about the actual animation themselves. Gaming session streams as well, whenever I need to take a break and keep things fresh. But I'll update everyone with Twitch links for the streams and things like that when they're all ready to go, as I haven't actually made them yet. But also for the first behind the scenes video that I mentioned before, that's slotted to come out in August. And as I mentioned before, that will be set on the pre-production of Postal the Cartoon. So that will likely be my next video. So please stay tuned. Other than that, that's pretty much everything I wanted to share with you all today. It was a lot of ground to cover, and I thank you if you've made it this far. to the end of the video. I better get back onto all the work I've got still to go. But thank you all again. Once again, all my new subscribers and old subscribers, viewers, likers, and hopefully new patrons. I can't wait to show you all the finished cartoon once it's all done. Links to Patreon, Wet Paint Clothing, my Instagram, as well as my email for any inquiries are in the description below. Thank you all again from the bottom of my heart for all the love and support, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Thanks again. Peace.